Hello, everyone. Peace of Christ to all. We just finished our broadcast actually, but I got this page from somebody, and they asked me, please. So, if you can answer. So, even though I'm done with 4 hours broadcasting already, but I could not say no. Anyway, so this is a page was sent to me by those friends, and simply, as you see in the front of you, it says 100 reasons why you should think about converting to Islam. And then you start reading those 100 reasons. First, number one reason. So I'm going to go over them fast because there's no way I can cover 100 reasons, right? But obviously, the first ones are the most important ones, right? When somebody start with number one and number two and number three, which means the more you go down, the more you go in less important things. So we will cover the important ones and we will see if they are legitimate or not. The Quran is the only revelation from God still in the original from it was revealed. Question: where is the original Quran? I challenge the Muslim to show me one copy of the original Quran. It's not exist. Seriously, it's not exist. Like, do you Muslims have original Quran? So how you talk about preservation if you don't have the original one? Christians, they have more than 7 to 8,000 manuscript of the original Bible. Muslims have zero. You know what zero mean? Zero. A few months ago, they were so happy about a paper, or let us say a piece of leather, in Birmingham, in England, and they make a big news about it. But even that one, it was not accurate because it says very close to the Quran today, but it's not the same. And even that one is not really that old. The leather is old, but the ink and the writing is not. The original Quran have no dots, have no vowels in it, and the one they found have vowels and dots on it. So it's written long after Muhammad. However, it's just one paper, and they make a big deal of it. And even that paper is not the same as the Quran. So how Muslim says to us, the Quran is preserved? Like if we go to the Hadith right now and we quote the Hadith where it says a goat ate the Quran. And right now we don't have those verses like stoning to death verse, or the verse of breastfeeding for adult, or what about the hadith where it says the chapter of al-Baqarah used to be equal to the chapter of al-Ahzab, which means there's more than 100 verses is missing. So the story of the preserved book is nothing but a joke. And actually the Muslims today, even what they have, even if they have the original one, let us say for sake of argument, today they found the one is written which they follow now. This is not the Quran, this is the book of Uthman. Uthman, he burned all the other books and he kept his own. And the question is, where is the book of Muhammad? Did Muhammad book was burned too? What we have is the book of Uthman, not the book of Muhammad. And this is supposedly a copy of copy, and nobody have any original copy anyway. So this is the first one is a false, which means actually the first people who burned the Quran, it was the Muslims, not us. If you ask the Muslims why Uthman he burned the Quran, he said because the recitation was different. Well, if it's a book, do you need to burn a book? Who care about the recitation? The book is words, is text. If I am saying it right, like the way I pronounce the words is not correct, but the book is written correct or not, obviously the books are different. So they have many Qurans. Number two, all the previous sin, no matter how big they are forgiven. Oh, so Islam will give you open license. Just convert to Islam, all your sin is gone. This is absolutely a false statement. If you go to the Quran, chapter 4, verse number 48, it says, إن الله لا يغفر أن يشرك به ويغفر ما دون. So إن الله لا يغفر أن يشرك به. So Allah will not forgive anyone who do shirk. And ويغفر ما دون, which means anything less than that, less than doing shirk, Allah forgive it. So when a Muslim says all your previous sin is forgiven, this is a contradiction for the Quran, but I understand the Quran is a book of contradiction, so nothing new. Here we go. Allah forgive not, all right, do you see it? Allah forgive not who take partner with him. Now, if Allah says he will not forgive anyone take partner with him, so how you say to him that Allah will forgive you for your past sin? He just said he will forgive not. If I convert to Islam and Allah will forgive me, it's me Allah will forgive. And the promise of forgiveness here is for who anyway? It's for the believers. Because he's saying he forgive not anyone who take partners, but he forgive anything else. Allah will not forgive a disbeliever anyway. So number 2, it was false. Let us go to number 3. Unbelievable. Number 3, women are treated justly, not oppressed. I like this one. Isn't it the Quran says beat them? Isn't it the Quran say beat the women? Chapter 4 verse number 34. There's a story, this is in the Quran, and there's a story in the hadith where a woman, she was beaten by her husband until he made her skin greener than her clothes, but we will go for that later. All right, like if I type here greener than her, all right, this is a woman, she came to the Prophet complaining about her husband beating her. You can read the whole story. I will show you the reference in the front of your eyes so you can check it out by yourself. All right, the Prophet, he took the side of the man. He never go against the man. In the top of that, he gave him a verse in the Quran, which chapter 4 verse number 34 says that your women, you are in charge of the women, and if the woman is disobedience to you, you beat her. The Muslim, they say to you falsely that this is about like beating. This is false. Read with me in front of your eyes. Look what Aisha, she said. Look, her skin is greener than her clothes. This is the light beating. That's a lot of light beating, man. That's a very good light beating. So look at her skin is greener than her clothes. So the man, he beated his wife until her skin became greener than her clothes. And the Muslims, they say to us, women are not oppressed. Well, isn't it oppression to marry more than one wife? Like the wife, she will be happy to see her husband going with different women. I never saw a woman, she is happy to see her husband sleeping around. In Islam, it make it legal. The woman, she have to watch her husband having sex with someone else in front of her eyes. She can't complain. He can have 4 bedrooms in his house. Every room have a new wife, and anytime he open the door for another wife and he go there. So you are the first wife, still he can get the second wife, the third wife, the fourth wife, and this is not oppression. And the top of that, you can beat them, you can jail them in their rooms, and this is what it says in the Quran, chapter 4 verse number 34. Muslims, for the sake of Allah, brother, try to find different lawyers for Allah. Seriously, like, come on, this is what Muslims got. الرجال قوامون على النساء بما فضل الله. Men are in charge of women to oppress them. Let us see what they do to the women. Men are protectors and maintainers of women. So what the man? He's a guard dog for you. He get out, he bite you. Because Allah, he gave them the one more strength, and because they spend money on them. Are you a prostitute? Isn't this is oppression? So the man, because he spend money on you, he can beat you, and he can jail you, and he is a guardian on you because he spend money on you. The funny, Aisha, she was Khadija, she was spending money on Muhammad. Therefore, the righteous women are the one who is obedient. Who is the righteous woman in Islam? He's the obedient. Okay, what kind of obedient? And guard in the husband's absence what Allah would have them to guard. So those women who is part you fear disloyalty and ill conduct, admonish them. I'm warning you. And look what they add here first. In the Quran, there's no first, there's no next, it's a lie. This is why it's between two brackets. Refuse to share bed with them. The man, he can refuse to share bed with you, but you cannot refuse to share bed with him. I can show you the hadith where Allah says if a woman refuses to share bed with her husband, Allah and the angels will curse her all night. And then beat them. And look what the liar in the translation says lightly. And you are telling me there's no oppression in Islam for the women? What a liar. So the hadith about beating women until making their skin greener, and the Prophet take the side of the man and force the woman who is trying to rape her. This is her husband. She don't want to sleep with him no more. Muhammad, he said to her, you know what? If you think this is your intention, you cannot do that. You have to sleep with him and he have to sleep with you. And he took the side of the man and he gave him the chapter 4 verse number 34, which says the women are under your shoes, you beat them as much as you want. The Muslim was saying to me, oh, come on, you're lying. It doesn't say under your shoes. Well, what it doesn't mean. You are a maintainer, you are a protector, you can jail them. You can jail them in their rooms. We can go right now to the interpretation. You can jail the women in her room. Let us go to number 5. Islam prescribed no cruelty to animals. Is that right? Well, Muhammad, even he asked Muslims to take revenge from the lizard. Even lizard. Muhammad, he said the one who kill a lizard, he will get 100 blessing more than killing an unbeliever. And Islam encouraged the preservation of environment. All right. Bangladesh, public toilet crisis. Islamic countries, they suffer from a very well-known problem, which is people, they unzip and they piss on the street everywhere. All Islamic countries, they share the same problem. Why? Because Muhammad, he used to do it in the street. Muhammad himself, he used to unzip and piss in the street. And look what they do. In order to stop those people from pissing in the street, they start writing in Arabic in the wall, because that will stop the Muslims from pissing here, because they do not know if this is, because the Arabic language is a Quranic language. So it's haram. It's haram. So a Muslim man, he have no problem to piss in the street on the wall in front of children, like the Prophet he used to do. So in order to stop them from doing that, we write Arabic in every wall, and that will make our country very ugly. Like imagine in every 5 meters you have to write this. This is the only way. Is that how you preserve the environment and society? What about the Prophet himself? Was the Prophet a clean person? Let us see how clean the Prophet. All right. Look how the Prophet, he wash and clean himself after he finished sex or doing poo-poo. I screened the Prophet while he was taking a bath of janaba. This bath, by the way, is not a shower. Don't think it's that. No. It's just a little water here and there, and his private part, and that's it. He washed his hand, poured water from his right over his left, and he washed his private part. Okay. So what he did? He put some water on his right, and from his right hand to the left, and he washed his private part. And then he rubbed his hand over the wall. The Prophet is cleaning his hands. Is it drying his hand with the wall? Why? Seriously, why? Any Muslim can tell me? Is that the clean environment? Is that what you Muslims do? After you do poo-poo, you put some water in your hands, and then you dry your hands over the wall, and then he dry them with the earth. Like what? What is that? So first he rub his hand in the wall, and then he rub his hand over the ground, and then he performed ablution. And this is how he do ablution too. Like, come on. And regarding protection the environment, what about your prophet burning trees? Did your prophet burn the trees? Why you want to burn trees? I thought you protect the environment. Huh? Why he burned them? He killed the people. Oh, you know what? Islam protect the environment. We kill you, but we keep the environment. I never thought about this. But even the tree he burned it, where in the desert, where trees is very important. Like, is it for the benefit of a human being? Okay, you know what? You won the war with those people, and etc. Why you want to kill? Why you want to burn the trees? You will see Muhammad burning trees all over. So what a shameful. So simply, when Muslims they make with 1 billion reason about why I need to convert to Islam, it is a very stupid thing. Like, I will jump a little bit. Islam simply is an easy religion based on ability, etc. You know what? It's very easy, to the point it's lousy. You are right. You know, because whatever you can do, you want to do. You know, just pay money to the Prophet forgive you. There is no racism in Islam. What is it? This is a false. Islam is religion of racism. No black man will enter heaven. The Quran says, يَوْمُ تَبْيَضُّ وُجُوهُ وَتَسْوَدُّ وُجُوهُ, in the day where all faces will turn white and all faces will turn black. What the faces are? The faces of the disbelievers will be black, and all the Muslims, Allah will make them white. So if you are a Muslim and you are black, you are not allowed to enter the heaven unless Allah He make you white first. I advise you to go to chapter 27 verse number 82 in Ibn Kathir and read the interpretation, and you will see how an animal, his name is its name is Jassasa, will come and will hit you with the stick of Moses and will turn your face into black, and with the ring of Solomon, and will turn your face into black if you are a disbeliever and into white if you are a believer. Anyway, I'm not going to continue. It's you know, Islam is believing in one God. You know, this is what the Muslims have, one God. But who is this God? They don't know. Muhammad himself never spoke to him. He never heard him. He never met him. He knew nothing about him. And this is the same God was exist before Islam, worshipped by the pagans. The same people who worship Al-Uzza and Manat and Allat, all of them, they believe in the same God. How come? So it's very funny, very stupid statement we hear here. Anyway, I think I'm done with this. I decided to make this video short because I just made 4 hours video. Just those people, they asked me, please, if you can answer, so I decided to answer. Anyway, I saw this is in the news. All right, and where is the news? Where is the news? Where is the news? The news is here. All right, let me share this with you. This is a story happened today, actually yesterday, sorry. A Muslim woman in Moscow, she beheaded a child. She is 4 years old girl, Christian girl, and she jumped in the street and she was shouting Allahu Akbar. You see, this is one of the reasons you should convert to Islam. This is the only religion who make people chop the heads of little children. I chop the head of a Christian child. She is a 4 years old girl. I chop her head and I walk in the street saying Allahu Akbar. You will not find this in any religion except in Islam. We have to agree, right? So this is one of the benefits of being a Muslim. What a great religion. Here there's a video about the mother, you know, she is going crazy, poor woman. They are taking her by the ambulance after she heard the news. This Christian woman, she hired this Muslim woman to be her babysitter. The Muslim woman, she is doing jihad. So she killed her and she was shouting, Allahu Akbar, we will kill you all, we will, you know, and Islam will torture you all, etc. She was screaming in the street. That is Islam. Look, she's walking in the street holding a child head. Have you ever believed in such a garbage like this before? In which religion, in which madness, in which God? You know what? I spit in your God. This is God. If this is God, you know what? I will be happy to be an atheist over being following a God like this. What kind of God will make a woman walk in the street holding a child head? What kind of hate does God come with? And you are telling me this is from God? Filthy, disgusting religion. And again I say, I spit in your God. And after I spit, I'm going to take my spit back and I'm going to clean it and wash it, because your God making my spit dirty. I'm not going to play the video because obviously it's very disgusting. What's wrong with those people? 100 reasons to convert to Islam? Well, you know what? I found there is a million reasons to leave this religion. This is one of the most disgusting, filthy belief can exist in the top of this universe. I believe this is a curse. Islam is a curse. Islam is like AIDS and Zika and those diseases which nobody know how to get rid of them. This is the poor girl. You believe it? How in the world somebody wanna kill a baby girl like this and chop her head? And this is the Muslima. You believe that this woman, she will be able to do such a thing? Unbelievable, man. This is what this religion does. The second, look what it says. I heard her yelling Allahu Akbar at least 3 times and hitting herself. She is so happy, she was excited. I think this is the family of the child. Poor people. Lord have mercy. So I think we gave you enough reasons to convert to Islam. If you want to learn more reason to convert to Islam, read my books. My books will give you all the reasons to convert to Islam. I have the Deception of Allah. You see it in the screen. You can find it in Amazon. And I have Qur'an and Science, which is debunking all the false miracles Muslims they speak about. I think we have enough reasons not only not to convert to Islam, but to go against it and fight it, because this is anti-human, anti everything humans stand for. Even animals don't do that. You see, animals, when they kill to eat. Muslims, when they kill for what? What is the pleasure of killing a 4-year-old baby girl? What she did to you? What she did? Nothing. That is Islam. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our Facebook. You can go to our website, investigateislam.com. You see it in the screen. And you can go to Twitter and subscribe or follow me in Twitter. It is Christ is the one, number 1. You see it there in the front of your eyes. And so you can be updated with our videos. And we always post when we are going to make a live broadcast in our Facebook. And I see you again. God bless. and thank you very much.